no matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it up.
Caitlin Clark may have received an offer from Europe that will change the WNBA forever. I am never
going to financially recover from this.
The WNBA are scrambling as Caitlin Clark's move to Europe becomes more likely. Maybe you should have thought treating your major star with a bit more respect. Now Caitlin will cause a massive dent in the WNBA. Seriously, who is going to continue watching without CC?
I know she will do her best. I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete at this level.
These are the people Caitlin had to deal with all season. You have no experience, you won't handle the WNBA, and look what happened. She stormed her way through, broke records like there's no tomorrow, and left the WNBA shaken up.
Nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from...
These analysts left Caitlin no choice. The constant fouling, the animosity towards her is enough. It's for a fresh start in a league that actually acknowledges their star players and doesn't let them get targeted.
Look at what the NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I want to be like Mike. It was still Bird and Magic.
Caitlin Clark has reportedly been offered an absolutely mind-blowing contract to play in Europe, and it looks like she's ready to take the plunge. But there's more to the story. Caitlin has had enough of the way she's been treated in the WNBA, and after enduring countless frustrations, she's finally making the decision to leave the league. The ripple effects of her departure could send shockwaves through the WNBA, shaking it to its very core despite all the attention, admiration from fans and her undeniable impact on the game. Caitlin Clark has faced significant challenges in the WNBA. She's dealt with issues ranging from lack of proper support on the court to the league's inability to truly protect its star players. These challenges have now culminated in what could be one of the most shocking career decisions we've ever seen. Caitlin Clark deciding to leave the WNBA behind for Europe. Let's be real, the WNBA hasn't always treated Caitlin Clark with the respect or care that a star of her caliber deserves, whether it's the lack of protection on the court, the constant targeting by other players, or the seeming indifference from the league itself. It's clear that Clark has had enough. Time and time again, we've seen opposing players get away with excessive physicality when guarding Clark, frequently crossing the line with aggressive, sometimes dangerous play. It's almost as if the league has allowed these tactics to go unchecked.
Making a basketball argument. We're not saying
we're not saying
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team. That's all I'm saying.
You could even argue that the WNBA has let this behavior continue because they know Clark's presence on the court draws attention and boosts viewership. A little drama, after all, gets people talking. But for Caitlin, it's gone too far. The lack of protection has reached a point where it's simply no longer worth it for her. Caitlin has been vocal about her frustrations with how she's been treated both by opposing players and by the league itself. Fans have noticed 2 social media platforms have been flooded with complaints from her supporters who have been calling for more protection, fairness, and respect for their favorite player. Yet despite the outcry, little to nothing has changed. The league's apparent indifference has left Clark feeling unsupported, almost as if they didn't care enough to make the necessary adjustments.
Many people are watching women's basketball right now. Yeah. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
And now, after enduring season after season of being unfairly targeted and mistreated, Caitlin Clark is finally listening to her fans. She's had enough of the league's indifference and has decided to take control of her career by leaving the WNBA behind. Clark is seeking a fresh chapter, one where her immense talent, dedication, and impact on the game will be truly valued the way they should have been all along. Now let's talk about the repercussions. The WNBA is on the verge of experiencing a serious downturn, and it's all because they failed to recognize just how crucial Caitlin Clark was to the league's success. With Clark gone, the WNBA is going to feel an immediate hit in both viewership and revenue. There's no need to sugarcoat it. Caitlin Clark was a massive draw for the league. Whenever she stepped onto the court, people tuned in, whether they were die-hard basketball fans or casual viewers. They watched for one reason: Caitlin Clark.
The fact that she was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games.
Now that she's leaving, the WNBA faces the monumental challenge of filling that gap. Sure, there are other talented players in the league like DJ Carrington and Angel Ree, but let's be real, they don't possess the same mystique, power, or magnetic appeal that Clark brought to the game, and that's not to discredit their abilities. Both are phenomenal athletes, but Caitlin Clark was operating on a completely different level. She wasn't just a player, she was a movement. People weren't just drawn to the WNBA, they were drawn to her. Her fearless shooting ability to take over games and competitive spirit made her a must-watch athlete. Fans didn't tune in to WNBA games for the league, they tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark play. With her departure, the WNBA is only beginning to realize the depth of the Caitlin Clark effect. Losing Clark means losing millions in revenue, ticket sales, merchandise, TV deals, sponsorships. It's all going to take a massive hit, and the worst part, it was entirely preventable. The league had every chance to make Caitlin feel valued, to protect her on the court, and to offer her the support she deserved as the face of the league. But
draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
they let issues fester, and now they're going to pay the price. Caitlin's departure signals a turning point, one that could have devastating consequences for the future of the WNBA. They're about to find out just how much they lost. So what exactly has Caitlin Clark been offered in Europe? The numbers being thrown around are staggering enough to stop anyone in their tracks. Multiple sources are reporting that the contract she's been offered far surpasses anything the WNBA has ever put on the table. In the EuroLeague, where players are treated like royal, Caitlin is being given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not only will she be making significantly more money, but she'll also have the benefit of playing fewer games, allowing her more time to rest, recover, and play at her absolute peak. The decision to move overseas practically made itself.
There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the big.
Europe isn't just offering Caitlin a contract, they're offering her the chance to become the face of the entire league. Picture this: Caitlin walking out onto the court, the lights dimming as thousands of fans erupt into deafening cheers. The energy in those packed arenas is palpable, every roar from the crowd reverberating through the stadium as she steps up to take a deep three. But this time it's different. These fans aren't just there to watch a basketball game. They're there for her. The EuroLeague knows this, and they're fully prepared to make her the centerpiece of their brand, treating her like the global superstar she is.
Do you care?
It's not just about Europe providing Caitlin with a new stage to dominate, it's about positioning her as the biggest basketball star in the world, with packed arenas full of devoted fans who respect and celebrate her every move. It's clear that Caitlin Clark is about to step into a new realm of greatness. This is her moment, and Europe is ready to make sure she shines brighter than ever before. But Caitlin isn't the only one making major moves. Other WNBA players are also starting to follow the same path, seeking better opportunities overseas. Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith, for example, have reportedly decided to spend their off-season playing in China, while Caitlin is headed to Europe. This trend is rapidly growing among WNBA players as they realize that playing internationally not only offers significantly more money, but also provides better overall treatment. The WNBA's pay structure simply cannot compete with what international leagues are offering, both in terms of salary and the quality of the experience.
All of this comes together, and you need a star. And she is the star.
Players like Caitlin, Kelsey, and Alyssa are seeing the advantages of fewer games, more rest, and higher earnings, making the decision to play internationally almost a no-brainer. When you compare the schedules, compensation, and player care offered overseas, it's easy to understand why more athletes are choosing this path. Whilst all this is going out, Jason Whitlock believes Caitlin should star in unrivaled league, a league where the best of the best compete against each other in the off-break of the WNBA. This would lead to players like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith not needing to travel abroad to earn their wage. Instead, they can make their money in America with an unrivaled league full of talent. This will give players better opportunity, and they will be able to make something out of this rise of talent in the women's game. We have some incredible prospects coming through, yet they aren't going to receive the pay they deserve. Instead, they will have to generate their income through Sponsorships, but this unrivaled league idea adds a whole different spectrum to the table. Back to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. This shift should serve as a massive wake-up call for the women's basketball. The league is at serious risk of losing not just Caitlin Clark, but other top players as well if the WNBA doesn't step up and reevaluate how they compensate and treat their athletes. They could face a mass exodus of talent. The reality is clear: players no longer have to settle for less when international leagues are willing to offer them so much more. If the WNBA wants to avoid an even larger talent drain in the future, they need to rethink their priorities, and fast.